I had a great mentor when I was an undergraduate, and he was a man, and I was a great student. I was a straight A student, and I became pregnant, and I needed to leave town to get an abortion. And I went to him, and I didn't really articulate, but he understood what I was saying. And I said, I'm going to be out for a week, and I can't, there's nothing I can do about it. It's something that has to be done. And he said, I see. You're a feminist through experience. You're not a feminist. In other words, you're not a feminist through reading books. You're a feminist through living your life. I was brought up in a pretty traditional family with a mother who was, and still is, very kind of steeped in the patriarchy and in many ways ill-equipped for any kind of self-examination. And I think that my feminism is probably a bit broader in definition than many people's, because I really think feminism to me it bleeds out, and it's not simply about women. It's about the examination of power in every aspect of our lives, and thinking about the many forms of power and how they are used to oppress others. And so while I have a very distinct focus on trying to empower women, I feel that my feminism has evolved tremendously, and really now it's about this kind of calling out of power when it's being used against those who are vulnerable. And that doesn't just include women, it includes not even just people, to me. I'm a strong believer in not only fighting for yourself and people who don't have power, but cultivating allies. I think that's best done through storytelling, so that people empathize with those who are not in power. And I think it's important to develop male allies, and the same way that I might fight for someone who I feel is a victim of sexism, I feel I need to fight just as hard for those who are suffering from racism or any other kind of abuse of power. And I think until we start to see that we have oppressors in common, it's all going to be very problematic, because I don't know, I don't like the isolationism of just saying, well, I'm just going to help women, when there are lots of other people who are struggling against the same oppressors that women have. And I think they try to divide us in order to conquer. And so I really think it's up to us to start to unify against systems of power. And because it's such a daunting task, I feel like that's the only way we're going to move forward together.